Great. So this is the foyer, and one interesting fact is when it was a hospital, they lowered the banister to get the stretchers up. They were hand carried.
Oh, goodness.
Up to the second floor, which was where the rooms were, and then the third floor, which is where the surgical suite was.
Wow.
Yes.
God bless them.
Right? Dr. Oshner was a photographer as well as a doctor and a marksman. So I'll show you a couple of interesting fun facts about that. So let's go up. This is all original wood in the foyer as well. We have many drawings and paintings of the home. This particular one is interesting because the house was actually not in the greatest shape then. And the previous owner had the house for 52 years, bought it as a 19-year-old college student. I don't know if I mentioned that. And then spent the next 52 years restoring, the bulk of it done in the first 20. She returned to a room house and then started the bed and breakfast in 91.
Wow.
So it had been a bed and breakfast for just over 20 years when we came in.
So she purchased it in 1970?
71.
Oh, wow.
Right,
That's
right.
very interesting.
So we have a porch here for our guests, which is lovely, overlooking the gardens. And then this room is called Marie, and Marie was Dr. Oshner's wife. So fun facts in here, that's their daughter. This is Dr. Oshner with his rabbits from his hunt.
Hunting.
And then Dr. Oshner took that photograph. So that's kind of fun.
Beautiful.
We have added this bathroom. Actually, we just moved things around a little bit.
Okay.
Big cowboy tub and so forth. Some
love this piece.
Vintage
Beautiful.
dressers
And
for
is this
cabinets.
brick original, or did you add the brick?
No, that we actually plastered this thick off of that to expose that brick just for fun.
So beautiful.
Yeah. This room, the previous owner called the Angel Room. I renamed it Heather because that was her name. And this is the first room she ever lived in.
Oh.
So this
very
is kind of a
cool.
tribute to her and everything she did
I love this wall
for the Gable House. Yes. Lovely, isn't it? So here's the room, the original chambers for the first owners. We have an architectural rendering, I told you about that, which is kind of fun to look at. And then we have a sitting area for guests here and lots of local information. So, and then I just absolutely love sharing my love for Durango and the Four Corners with our guests.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much history.
So this is the Chute room. James and Eliza Chute built the home in 1892.
Wow.
And moved in 95. This is the only bedroom with a private balcony.
Ooh.
So there's a little balcony out there.
Yeah.
And then Heather, during her work on the home, put a chase up from the original kitchen and made this 3/4 bath and a bath above it. So we have 3 full baths and 2 3/4 baths.
Oh, interesting.
Yes,
Okay.
and
And
a couple of them open to 2 rooms.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Well, that's convenient if you're traveling with some friends.
Yes. This is a really fun room. It's called the Cowboy Room.
I love the name.
And we have some cowboy paraphernalia in here. The only thing we need is a lasso. So if anybody has one, let me know because we're in the market for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really funny because I worked in the art business for a while when I was in Taos and had my own mercantile, as I mentioned, and ended up with Navajo textiles and Pendleton blankets and cowboy lamps and all sorts of things. So the 2 shipping containers full of antiques that I had nothing to do with suddenly found a home when we moved in here.
Yes.
And another thing that really fits is I love to cook. I have 4 children, and I serve a big hot breakfast to all of our guests every morning with a full coffee service. And most afternoons, unless I'm out hiking or something, I'll serve a little reception for our guests.
Oh, that's
With
probably so fun.
Some local vendors like Animus Chocolates and
Yes.
Esoterra Cider and
Yes, I love
fun
that.
things like that. I bake
Yes.
cookies as well.
Perfect.
And we use a lot of locally sourced food for our breakfasts. We use a local dairy farm for our eggs,
Oh, that's
milk,
so great.
Butter, and then bread from bread.
Wow, that's great. Yeah,
For
I
all
really-
of my
I
stratas
really
and baked
appreciate
goods,
that
yeah.
About Gable House. That's actually how we met, is at a sustainable business meetup. And so that's one
Right.
of the things that when you were telling me you try to do everything you can sustainably, I was like, love that.
And that's true as well. We have no single-use plastic. We have no water bottles or amenities. We're working toward our own amenities line.
That's
But
great.
right now we use bulk. We find what we're looking for and
Right, refill.
have that and refill it all. So this is one of our double rooms. The first one we went in is a full and a twin. This is two queens. Interesting fun fact, Heather, the previous owner, had this bed and I had this bed. So
Really?
her grandmother's name was Ruth and my grandmother's name was Jewel, so we named it
Oh,
Ruth
I
and Jewel.
just love
So
that
that's
when
kind of
that
fun.
happens. That's so cool.
All right, let's head up the stairs. Here's one of those full baths. This bath can service either that room or this room.
Okay.
This is the Helen room, and Heather named this room as well, and Helen happened to be my favorite aunt, so the
Oh,
name
there you
sticks.
go. There you
Here's
go.
that second 3/4 bath that I mentioned she added
Okay.
to the home in making it the bed and breakfast.
Great clock. Love that.
Thanks. This is a common area for guests that can be used anytime, day or night. We have tea service in there, a little refrigerator for folks to store. They can bring their dinner or pizza or whatever. They can play cards. I've got games, puzzles, you name it. So,
And so I have to ask, what was this room originally used
oh,
for?
this was Dr. Oshner's surgical suite. There was a
Wow.
wall here.
Wow.
I believe this was his scrub area and that was his actual surgery area. And if you look above the window, there's an electric outlet,
Oh, wow. I can't even imagine.
right? Really fun.
Yeah.
And then the last guest room area is called Oshner. And it's our second king bed. Heather's a king and Oshner is a king. It also has a clawfoot tub. So this room is very bright and cheery. And lovely south-facing windows looking over the gardens once again. And one of the rooms that Charlie and I opened was the second room in this suite, which we call Train. And part of it is because, there were a lot of movies filmed in the Durango area. That's the Great Train Robbery and Butch Cassidy.
Oh, wow.
And then this photo over here is actually my grandfather who worked on the train.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and then I had the train rug and the train blanket.
That's
and
so cool.
so things really
Was this
fit.
The Durango Silverton?
No,
No, okay.
he was on the Missouri Pacific.
Oh, okay.
No, Union Pacific.
Okay.
So, yes.
Very cool. I love that.
Yeah. So we actually pulled carpet up in here and refinished these floors. They are original, just like the others, but they had not been restored.
They look in such good shape for being their age.
They were, well, I think covering them up may have protected
That
everything,
makes
right?
sense. That makes sense.
So, and that's it for the guest area. This is our office. No way am I opening that door right now.
No problem.
And Charlie and I both have grandchildren, 8 together. And when they were here at Christmas, the gardening net went up
Oh, fair enough.
until we get our banister up.
Yes,
So
fair enough.
yes, and that's it for guest space. We open our doors after coffee every morning to the dining room and serve that full hot breakfast. And then we close those doors after breakfast, and that becomes our private space again.
Okay.
So we live in the original servants' quarters, which is very fitting. So,
Well, thank you so much for the tour. I have
Of
been
course.
sending any guests that come to town here, and I will continue to do so.
oh, thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. We're looking forward to the season.
Yes.
It was not busy during the winter, but it's the first winter we've been open in 22 years.
Oh,
So that will just build,
Yeah.
right, as people learn. We had scattered guests here and there, and that was really fun. They got a lot of attention. So.
Right. Exactly. Great.
Yeah,
Well, thank
so-
you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, of course.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too.